Howdy, howdy, howdy. Oh, a little bit of a late night stream. I got my SV08 open enclosure in tonight. This, and they say, no, insomnia never pays off. I'm in California, so it's not really late for me. It's only 10 o'clock for me, so it's fine. But yeah, I did get this in finally after USPS kept sending me a message. Oh, it's arriving late. Oh, it's arriving late. Oh, it's arriving late. Oh, it's arriving late. For like 6 or 7 days in a row. How are you doing a bit nuts? Just moved over. It opened up. We have the SV08. 1 a.m. here. Howdy, howdy. Hopefully this shouldn't be too bad of a stream. It does look like it's a pretty quick one. Just looking over the installation guide real quick. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad at all. This thing needs some work though. It's not a bad printer, but it does need more time in the oven. Start a pile of trash over there. Got nice big old tempered glass for the tops and the door. Actually, I don't like it, but this doesn't even have any attachment points for the top. They have a guide. I looked at the guide. The guide doesn't look great. Yeah, there's a little bit of a gap there, but it is what it is. We're going to hear. I do a lot of the support for TH3, but I've been doing a bit more of the streams and things like that. For like this, Tim doesn't have an SV08. He canceled his order. So I'll be doing the stream for it. These are printed parts, and I am not super impressed. Looks like we have a guest. Yeah. So if people have issues with their products and things like that, they usually, if they're talking to me. Howdy, Emerson. But this will focus.
That one of the parts that came with the kit.
Yeah, one of the printed parts. Not the best print quality. There's some
Is that
warping there. It's like
is there some stringing in there too?
there is.
They couldn't
There's
even
actually
clean it up.
there's a lot of stringing right there.
That's nice.
So far, not really impressed. Oh, this one was warping a bit. See that inside corner right here? Might be able to see it a bit better there.
That's awesome.
We do have paid support calls, so we can sit down on either like a call or something like, or email, go over things. Yeah. What else do we have here? This is their filter. Very, very filtery.
That's as
Just
useful as the ones on the K1.
yeah. Um, nice, decently chunky size fan though. Their cable chain for inside. I've seen a few of this installed already. Uh, this might cause some issues as we're installing it. What I do with the screw nut head? Oh, it's taped. Got a bunch of hex nuts. Our ungodly amount of my favorite size of screw. And 3x8. Yeah, all these are labeled with steps. Step 3. There are no steps in the guide. There are no listed steps in the guide, if I can find out where I put that. There it is. Yeah, there are no steps listed in this installation guide. Actually, no, never mind, I'm lying. There were not on any of the printer install guide. Yeah, that's what I've learned with the installation of the, or the put together of the printer. Let's put these off to the side so I don't break them. Nice fancy tempered glass doors with loose printed parts. Not too bad. Printing PLA with the front side glass and top glass open. So they want you to remember to open up the door while printing PLA.
I think there's a label on the top
Yeah.
of the K1s that say that to remove the lid when you're printing.
I mean, that's not a bad thing to have.
No.
Like, not everybody knows that PLA doesn't like it hot. That's it. And then nice aluminum side covers for everything. This is the right side. More foam for my cats. This is the left side. And then we got the rear with the opening for the fan. I might just print a cover for that and say I like it hot. But all right, let's see what the step one is. Use a screwdriver to remove the original wiring harness bracket and cover. So essentially take off this back wire mounting point. I might have to take off my spool holder to get this all installed. You're installing the Nighthawk now?
I don't know. Probably. Or at least get the tool head, get all the heat inserts in there.
That's
Then the
not that many.
No. It's in the process of reprinting the little button that locks the the filament in on the top of the clockwork. I was like, well, why doesn't this fit right? And then I noticed that there was a design change since my
Oh,
printer.
Clockwork 1, Clockwork, yeah.
Well, I mean, mine's based off the clockwork too, but they changed the button. Well, I thought they just changed the button, but they changed a couple things in like the two mounting plates had some slight redesigns to them, which is the reason for the change in the button. So I just had to print up new parts.
Always fun.
Yeah.
Step 2. As shown in the picture, use M3x6 hexalong flat round nuts to fix the tow harness to the bracket. Hey, Jerry. Yeah, a little later than I thought I was going to be, but hopefully it shouldn't take too long.
Steve, were those parts supplied by Bondtech?
Oof. I
Well,
mean,
the
they may
print
have had the
quality.
same printer. M3x6 flat hexagon screws. Wait. No. It's going to focus. Step 2. These are the M3x6 flat hexagon. Just go to this camera. Step 2. They actually did it this time. They have the steps matched up in their guide with the steps that are listed on their packaging. It's
Was it
not
not like
black,
that when
but
you built it?
no, the
No.
steps meant absolutely nothing in the when putting together the printer.
Nice.
Well, these are only going into plastic. Where's the heat sets, Solval? Yeah, this is why I don't like putting screws in the plastic anymore because it just doesn't like to bite
No.
starting out. Well, they didn't design it correctly for it to bite, actually. It's just a hole. There's no chamfer or anything to start the screw into. Like, if you're going to put a hole for a screw, at least put a little chamfer on the edges so you can actually put it in there. The holes aren't even round. They're oval.
They definitely use the same. Must have used the same vendor as Bondtech.
Right? I mean, for my CR10 S5 conversion that I'm working on, those holes are like you're probably gonna have, or Tim is probably gonna have to hammer those in, unless I switch out what linear bearings I use. Tighten those up without over tightening them, so I don't strip the plastic. Hmm.
Ooh, that's hot.
Okay, that's correct. All right, for the next step, M4x12. Oh, you reused the stock one. It's like they didn't include an M4x12. Like this hole, it doesn't need any bite on it, and yet you're just putting the screw through so you can mount it and not actually attaching it to the plastic.
I just do heat inserts. Like I don't.
I mean, most people who are putting this together probably don't have like a heat insert or iron
No, I'm just saying they should just put them in. You know what I mean?
from the
Like just
factory.
yeah.
Oh! Use an M4x12 hexagon socket screw to fix the PLA print part to the harness bracket on the AB axis. The PLA part in an enclosure.
Oh,
Oh,
nice. Yeah, that won't warp
oh.
at all.
Also, um, Soval, you do not think this through. Oh, I gotta take this apart again. Because you can't guide the wire through with how they have you install it.
No.
Because of open on this side and the chain opens on the back. So you have to guide it through somehow. So I have to take this off, guide the wire through, and then put the screws on to mount this to the printed part. Nice.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I was kind of bummed out on the Nighthawk board. Now they give you extra pins and a plug to do it, but it's like I wish they would have just kept the plug off, like put the
For
pins
what?
on, but kept the plug off on the Nighthawk umbilical because that 6-pin plug is so big it won't fit through anything.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Oh, you mean the 4-pin?
Or yeah, I guess it
So
is the 4-pin on the tool head side. Yeah, because the 6-pin you can't take apart; it's all glued. Hmm, nothing like the smell of burning plastic.
or actually, oh, I could have just done that. Never mind. Put the chain off. Instead of taking it all apart. But still, so far, not super impressed. Like, part of the reason why I didn't cancel this along with the screen, probably going to be a pain to design my own. But now that I've like looked at everything, it's like, oh, I could have just used the right sized a printed part with the pin. Again, you have to give yourself some. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Lift the whole printer up, let the gantry fall. Oh yeah, now my hands are greasy. I put some grease on the linear rails. Yeah, I
Oh, nice
should
one.
have installed my or set up my other monitor so I could read chat a bit better. I don't think I have any other parts to install. Yeah, I can start closing this up. Oh yeah, these have never been closed. The drag chain,
No,
it has no bend in that like no crease in the plastic for the clips. Yeah, there is like no extra slack in this. You know what? I'm actually going to pop a couple of the links off because it's too long. Yeah, it's still too long. Where's the little screwdriver they gave? Nope, they didn't give me a flathead. They gave me a actual Phillips head.
they didn't give you the little flathead to pop the links apart.
Nope. My cats are trying to get in here and so confused because the doors now blocked off with foam. Kitty. There we go. That looks a bit better. And there's enough wiring. Now I need the rear. Also the fan and what they call the filter. Not an actual filter. What they call a filter. Oh, I do have to install it on the outside. God, this thing is not impressive. This is $180, by the way. They don't tell you. Otherwise, it's too short. Yeah. Like, I'll figure out if it needs to add the links back, but I would have to go under the printer, cut zip tie, and like stretch them to the max to get that working. 3-in-1 cover. I mean, I guess it would be considered a dust cover. It's not a filter.
Yeah, no.
What are you doing?
What you get on most computer cases and shit now.
Exactly. Pretty much exactly what it is. I hope you guys can't hear the music I'm listening to, because we'd get a DMCA strike.
I can't hear anything.
All the cats are coming in to hang out now. We're so confused about all the foam. Wow, these are sticking through quite a bit.
I'm glad I read that instruction all the way through.
Those are sticking through quite a bit there.
Yeah. And that's the... Is the fan on the inside of the printer or the outside?
Outside. It's time for my favorite M3x8s. Dump out a pile of those. Got the right size on this. Oh, that's going to save me some time. I have this on a really low torque setting, so it's not going to cause any issues. I just yeeting them in.
I live a little tour.
I mean, it's yeeting them in fast enough where it's not going to take 3 hours to do 40 screws. Just sitting there cranking on a hex bit. A little bit. There we go. I'll come over and read chat in a second. I really wish I could have got my other monitor working. For some reason, the adapter is not sending.
You'll have to remove the fitting from around the braided cable. They don't tell you that, otherwise it's too short. And I think when he says it stops cat here, he's referring to the filter. He had a chit ton of those screws left over.
Oh, good. I'll add them to my collection.
Right.
That will be for later. Yeah, it looks like they have extras of just about everything.
Which, that's alright. I mean, it's better to have extra than be sent with not enough. Which has happened more often. And that shit's annoying.
Side inward. Yeah, I'm getting that right.
25.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna plug in the fan just yet. I'll do that after I get the other sides on, because that should be fine. Because they're like, stop now and flip over the print. This is the right side. Oh no. I'm locking my screws inside. Need those. Magnet did not save me there. Start all these by hand real quick.
Yay. Works and it didn't break.
I was going to print a top hat for this, but where I have it in my... It's already a big printer, but where I have it on my tower, on my shelf, there's just no room.
Like Abe Lincoln top hat?
Yeah, it lifts the top glass a bit. But honestly, I might just hit up Mandela Roseworks or Tap Plastic or something and get a acrylic thing made because I don't need. If I'm printing PLA or TPU, which I have printed some TPU parts on this, they
Mm-hmm.
turned out all right. I'll just open the front door and set the exhaust fan to max. The exhaust fan, that's what it's there for. I have a tool belt. Stick the driver in my pants pocket. All right. Gonna lose that, but it'll be fine. Now the fun part. I have a printed full holder and filament sensor mount on the side. Can I slide this in without removing those? No. A different printed part for this side, but I might not be able to use that right now. Oof. I have realized that this would be a butt cam for a good part of the stream. Yeah, I did notice that a 4-page install for the fan. I'm actually gonna modify the code a bit so the electronics fan is always running, but it's only running at like 20-30% until it's printing. And then the exhaust fan is like never on unless I actually want it on for a print. I'll just modify the starting G code, or not the starting G code, the filament profile. So if I'm printing PLA, it knows to turn that on. Beautiful. So beautiful, I forgot the M3i8s and the screwdriver inside the enclosure. Hi, Krista. Popcorn made. Hey, Scott. I don't have my other monitor set up right now, so I can't easily read chat.
Krista, why are you awake? You should be taking advantage. Get some rest.
Oh, I bet we both know why she's awake. Little 2 weeks old now?
She's a perfect little angel.
We're both awake. Are you guys watching me in bed? Honestly, I think I can do a pretty decent enclosure for this with acrylic.
That looks like you actually tried.
I could use that spool holder. Let me give me a minute and I'll see if I have the link for that. It's actually really nice. It made it because of how I have it in my shelf. I have two of these shelves behind me, one right here, one across the office, and there's no room for it to fit in there with the filament up top, but sitting on its side works well. I'll get probably this weekend or sometime next week, I'll get temps of the enclosure, like what it gets to when I'm running the bed at like 110C for an hour or whatever. Pull this through a bit more. Now I need my bolts to put on my filament sensor. I was a little worried that no one would be awake right now, but it seems quite a bit of people are up late on a Saturday night.
All the fireworks people are still setting off.
Messed up sleep schedules.
They're
Let's see if
still
I have that.
they're still letting off fireworks here.
File downloads.
Eights or tens. So we shall see.
All right, here is the filament sensor, so it actually goes downwards. My mouse is freaking out. Oh, I know why. Yeah, here. And then here is the side-mounted spool holder.
20s. I still have shitloads of hardware left over from my LDO kit, my 2.4.
Oh yeah. I just added it to my container. You will need slightly longer M4 bolts to attach it. Oh, to attach it to the side here, because it takes the OEM slots. Oh no! Hopefully you're okay. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery. That's no fun.
Fireworks related. What? How many digits did you lose?
Right.
Just heat insert.
Let's
Oops.
flip this around. Grab the install guide. Now I'm at a point where I can hang out and chat. If I put the install guide correctly in my hand, can actually read it. And 3x6 hexagon spoods. Let me see if this is long enough.
Ah, that's hot.
How's that for light? Are these both the same? Okay. There's one. Is this just thread into plastic? We're doing a lot of threading into plastic, and I'm not pleased. They are. Ugh. I know these are going into plastic, but I just want to. Oh. I don't have the right size. No! I wanted to make it quicker. All good. Hey, Tommy. Did you have anything more about the MMU for the SV08? The co-print, I believe it was called. They haven't released any updated info from what I've seen. But if Creality releases their, was it the K2 Max with their MMU system, that should be, honestly, I would think that would be better. It's just like a bamboo AMS.
That's likely a pretty close clone.
Hopefully, and it's just running. Oh yeah, I could clone that. So the door hinges on the bottom are just a little metal piece with a pin. If I find the right size pin somewhere, I would just have to get a printed part, and I can use the stock.
That looks just like the K1 hinge.
Do they sell those? Oh
Do they
my!
sell the hinge? I don't know. Bulbous. Pretty bulbous.
Let's see. Hold up. Hey, Bitnuts, did you have enough M3x6 screws? The countersunk screws? Yeah, I was just looking at that. Two, four, six, eight. Was I only supposed to use one screw in the back? Oh, I was supposed to use the round head. Oh, I see. I used to the Voron setup. Ah, I goofed. I'm so used to the Voron setup where you use the countersunk screws for the chains, so they're nice and flat. Solvol did not take that route. Like, why does it seem like I'm missing screws? Because I used them elsewhere. I hope they release the STLs for these, because these need to be reprinted in a material that can actually withstand ABS temps.
Oh, you don't think PLA is going to cut it?
I mean, for the first couple prints, sure. After that, not so much. All right, double check. These are the right way. Little nubs on the outside. Oh, I already know I'm gonna drop one of these.
Looking good so far.
I mean, it's not a horrible kit. They could have done a few things better, though. That's good. Hey, cat. Yeah, the drag chain is my biggest gripe right now. I do understand it is kind of needed because of the wiring, so it doesn't get in the print or get caught on anything. But they should have accounted for that in the original build. Because they built it to have an enclosure. That's obvious by the fact that that's obvious by the fact that they built the frame to have all the mounting points for their enclosure. Lovely little sugar-free grape drink. What's next? M3x8, T-studs, left and right hinge. All right. Beautiful.
Wait a minute.
Let's prep these screws. M3x8s with little grommets on them. Where are my grommets? Plug nail. 4 pieces. Yeah, I understand that. A bit nuts. I'm not super pleased with it. Not gonna focus.
Oh wow, yeah, that's nice and warped on that one corner.
Like nice and warped, and the offset is so far away compared to the other one. Not gonna get it to focus, am I?
I thought that printer was supposed to be open source.
It is. I'm gonna reprint all these as soon as the files are released. These do not look great. Oh, that's a nice magnet, though. I don't like that sound, though, of it smacking. Also, it's tinted.
It's tinted.
I mean, slightly, but with my light that's in there, it's a lot better. Oh, Like it, the magnet's strong. I like it. They got a big magnet there to hold it.
That's
Beautiful. Yeah, that first corner obviously worked. Like these look a lot better. Not going to focus for me. These look a lot better than the other side, except for the center. The center obviously had a really high Z offset. Were these printed on SV08s? Is that why the Z offset is all over the place?
if so, they should definitely not advertise it. Blame it on a vendor issue.
There we go. That is a gap. Holy cow. Where's my calipers? I mean, they do call this thing an open enclosure, but wow. 1.2 millimeters. 1.25. Almost a millimeter and a half in the center. So this thing has a bit of a gap there. Also, that's kind of loose. Yeah, I think I'm going to be doing some design work. Did by the same guy that did the instruction manual. Um, Here, let me clear out the enclosure of parts. Oh, I need to install the back again. Reinstall the drag chain because I used the wrong screws. That's my mistake, not Solvol's. I mean, they could have just used more M3x8s that are all the same. But these are actual, instead of machine screws, these are like wood screws. So better for going into plastic. But still not exactly a fan of how they did it. How goes the stealth burner?
It's back together now. Well, for the most part. Here's the
Let me know how well that is this a heated chamber?
yes.
Let me know how
Oh,
well yours holds up.
no, it, it's not heated the way yours is, like your Trident. I have the bed fans.
Oh, I have both.
Man, I really don't want to cut this, but I think I'm gonna have to repin it, which sucks.
Yeah, I need to make a plug with a splitter because I did order uh 5-volt fans. So I need a splitter for the Nomi and fans.
I ended up wiring the Nomi on the 5-volt ground for the LEDs.
Uh
I just soldered it on the back of the pins or the like the leads that go into the plug.
yeah. Alright, let's clear this thing out. I'm probably not using the enclosure fan, so that's why I'm not flipping over the printer to install it. I have it wired and pushed in. I just don't have it wired to the main board. And if I deem it necessary, I'll flip the thing. For now, I want to throw some ABS in this. I don't want to destroy the nozzle. Let's grab some Raveberry. I did print a aftermarket oh, almost missed a chair. I did print an aftermarket duct for it. It was so flimsy and wobbly. And like that, we're enclosed. Let me. Did Sarah show you the new polos Krista ordered for Ting?
She did.
And he asked the thread through the bottom to get to the meat. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Let me add browser capture. Not gonna work. No. Add display capture. Oh boy,
Oh,
this is the BenQ. Oh, that's the Trident. Go SV08. There you go. That's nice and bright. Do home all quad gantry. Here, let's do main camera. Add.
Ooh! Mousetrap.
See if I can get a good. Matrix. Me and my potty mouth. All right, let's see how high I can go. Oh yeah, it has to heat up to quad gantry level. So let's just sit here and wait for it to hit 100C. Because I did adjust that. Chamber temperature.
Bye-bye, drag chain.
Yeah, putting some mod bot tonight. Oh boy, 58C. Slowly getting there. I don't need the max temperature, or the max height, I should say. Like it, but it's not a required thing for me.
Not a deal breaker.
Yeah. There we go. Slowly getting there. All right, so that's with my lighting. Where is it? Banner pixel. Is that off? Oh, it's not because it has to. It's batch commands. Baby is down. Oh, good. Hope you guys get some rest tonight. Yeah, it only took an hour to install. I didn't think it would take that long,
No,
or
that's not
much
bad.
longer than this. And that's with me installing the wrong screws and whatnot. All right, someday this will turn off the lights. That's one thing I don't like about Clipper is batch commands.
Which means you don't get the live Z.
You don't get the live Z. You can't control like lighting and things like that off the bat. You have to wait for whatever commands are in the queue to go through. Your most recent command hits it. But yeah, I have a bunch of extra MOSFETs and everything. I installed a Clipper expander board in it. Probably going to be installing the Easy AVL in this and just saying screw the auto Z offset and use that pin that it has for the pressure sensor.
Oh, shh. Nikes, that's right. Gotta repin that. Boo.
Wait, how did it get worse?
What got worse?
It went the quad gantry. It went from 0.54 to point.
Welcome to my world, mother scratcher.
Oh, point. Oh no, I'm. Never mind. I'm dumb.
That's always been my thing when this stupid ass printer is trying to quad gantry. I'm like, how does it get worse? It'll get better, and then better, and then worse, and then worse, and then error out. And then I want to pick it up and throw it.
260. 285. .310. Oh, so the bottom popped out at 329. It's about hitting the top. So my new Max Z is about 330. So that's not terrible. Only lost like 15. That didn't sound great. Cats, knock it off. Puffball. What are you doing? Let's see. Switch to the SV08. Save changes for the start G code. How long will this take?
Do an ABS benchy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to take 2 hours. Well, I was going to see how long the carabiner was going to take. That's going to take too long. So I need to turn support off. Nobody needs to support a benchy. That's better than mine. Didn't make it to 300 with the bottom part. I actually removed 2 of the links in the. So that I think that's what saved me. I can probably just speed it up. This is mostly just to see if anything lifts. Oh. They did not include a zip tie. Just noticed. Here they are.
Okay. Roll. Black. Blue.
They have a zip tie point in the print,
Yeah.
but they didn't include a zip tie.
Like Bondtech.
Telling you, Solvo and Bondtech might just be one and the same. Yeah, that's not working, so I'm just gonna go like that.
Oh, I have so much junk.
We'll do. Pull up the main screen. ET, you don't want to hang out? Hey, I got a treat for you. Cat. Eat your butt. Snack. You want a snack, bud? Let me pull up the main camera. Let's see. Want to hop up? Come here. Hey, buddy. This cat is completely food motivated. Okay, this one is too.
I said, don't
Emerson.
leave me out.
Oh, you guys get to share.
What are they getting?
A delectable.
Delectable.
Or like, they're essentially cat go-gurts.
You spoil your kitties.
I do. I mean, if I didn't spoil the orange one, he wouldn't even come up to me. I mean, you saw the picture I sent you of me prepping for the stream.
Mm-hmm.
The dog was on my back, just hanging out. Oh, you get some too. Ziggy, I would give you some, but you wouldn't take it.
Black, blue.
There, we haven't given the dog any treats in a while on stream. Neither of the cats. Oh, Puff is climbing. Hey. Hey, Puffball. This
Yeah,
Puff.
that's right. They haven't gotten treats lately, have they?
I am not.
Now that you mention it.
Oh, yes. Now it's dropping down from 100C to 65C. Their starting macro, their macros for this are a mess.
Is the nozzle temperature dropping?
No, the bed.
Really?
Hey, Jordan.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it has it set up to do the quad gantry at 65C instead of whatever the set temp is for the bed. So if we pull up the other screen, so it heats up to 100C, then it drops it back down. This thing also needs another PID tune. There we go. So yeah, raises it up to 100C. It's like, okay, time to start the print. has the nozzle go up, drops the bed down to 65, and waits to do the probing. And then it's going to start.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait. Is that? Hold on. I might want to select an ABS profile. But it still does that for printing. I was just reading the name PLA.
Yeah, it still doesn't make any sense. This is going to be fun.
You know what? I'm just going to do this. This is the stock lighting right now. That is fuzzy.
That's stock?
That's
Or with,
stock. Or no, that's with my lighting.
okay,
Let
I
me
was
turn
going
off
to say,
my
because
light.
that's not bad.
There we go, since we're off. This is stock. Yeah. So the stock isn't too bad. Okay, we're sliced for ABS. 29 minutes. It was sliced for TPU before.
Oh, Jesus. Slightly different.
Only a little.
Oh,
Webcam there.
oh, you've got to be shitting me. Get out of there, you rotten asshole.
Turn my light back on. Oh. Check my messages. Hold on. Push this back on. I mean, it's not a bad camera view. A little fuzzy, but better than Tim's. Hey, Nadir. Just got my enclosure installed. Doing not the first ABS print on this.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because my room is here it's a little toasty occasionally. When it was 95 is when I like forget it. I'll just print a lot of ABS on Enclosed. What is it doing? Heating up the hot end, okay. And part of me wants to like gut this thing, put in an actual main board, Raspberry Pi, do something like the Nighthawk on it. Thank you. And if I can show it off somewhere.
Make it a real printer.
Yeah. I saw Nadir has a few different hot ends on printables. It's bigger. Oh, you just installed the Clicky Probe, didn't you? 9:32 a.m. models. Where is it? Yeah, the CN 3D shroud. His tool head. This is for the SV08, isn't it?
In there. I gotta find a teeny tiny little flathead.
Is that a Creality heat sink? It's the one you did for the SV08. Oh, that doesn't sound. Oh, yeah, that offset's horrible. Okay, that offset's rough. I would really like to set up their pressure sensor. I don't know why they just didn't like an end stop like Voron did, where they had to go pressure sensor.
That's the latest craze. It's all these special boards and sensors and shite you don't really need. Stuff that only kinda works. Well, that's gonna be fun to plug in. Come on.
Like a fan of how I have that set up. Let's check out the height map. I mean, well, that is only for that small area that it printed or that it meshed.
Oh,
Good tell.
I did kind of rip my pinky nail off.
Ooh. All in all, it's not bad, but it's not really that great either for this thing. Toolhead temps starting to rise.
There you are.
30%. Yeah, Nadir, you made a hot end for this thing, didn't you?
It's going to require
I wanted to do your top hat, but with how my where I have it sitting, there's just not enough room. There's not even enough room for the stock filament holder. The print qualities, yeah, the print quality on the printed parts that I have on this thing are not great. I want to reprint them all. I did see the 5-inch display they sell. I actually ordered it as on release. Taking on that print. I ordered the enclosure kit and the screen together with the printer on the day that they released it, and I canceled off the screen because it's if I'm going to be messing with the printer, I'm just going to be messing with it via the UI or for main sale.
I was actually considering updating the screen on my 2.4 because I know like the LDO revision D kits are coming out with like a touch screen that utilizes clipper screen.
I mean, they've
And
had
then
that since revision A. My Trident is a revision A, and that came with the wave share.
oh yeah, see my 2.4 is a revision B and it's got the like
This screen,
the big, the 1284 screen with the
yeah, this
with the
one.
knob.
Hey,
Yeah,
Willem.
yeah. But kind of like you, it's like, well, most of the time when I mess with it, it's on the UI unless I'm doing, like Z adjustments. So it's not really worth me spending the money and the time printing new parts and flipping that heavy bastard back over to do all that. So it'll stay the way it is.
All these parts are PLA, so I need to reprint all the parts that they sent with it for an ABS enclosure. PLA parts.
Nadir, did you actually get the 5-inch display? Be curious to hear from someone who actually got it and how bad it is.
Yeah, it was also HDMI off the side, which I really didn't like
Yeah, that's kind of janky.
because it would go from the side here to an HDMI cable sticking out here to an HDMI cable sticking out. Oh, his camera is in the way, but it's on the bottom side. If it was on the same side as the power, bad because you already have the cable over there. But then now you have cable on the left and you have to have an extra like on either side. Just have it a safe bet.
Shit, figure something out with all my junk.
Actually, just I was working on the or the Trident over the weekend, this morning and last night. Got a nice heated chamber now. I think I got it up to 73.
With the naughty box.
Mm-hmm. The Voron no box.
Yeah. Although it's on their Voron mods website.
It's the Voron mods website isn't theirs. It's community managed.
Is it? Well,
I'm
whoever
pretty sure,
manages
yeah.
it needs to fix it because it's all the search feature doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, I search if you try to filter it by printer, you'll still get like V0 mods for the Triton.
Yeah. Yeah, you can filter it and that kind of works. But like the actual search, like if you typed umbilical, it doesn't do anything.
Mm.
Not sure what's going on with their site, but it's a bit jank right now.
Just a little bit.
This is something that I gotta figure out is this cable is not as stout as I was hoping it would be. It's not rigid. Not sure how I'm gonna make this not be a limp noodle.
Yeah. Speed it up by 35%. Get this done. Because it is almost midnight now.
That's not terrible.
I mean, this thing's gonna work for what it is. It's a 350 printer, so it's not gonna keep, even with a seal.
Yeah, it's hard to get these big printers to. I mean, once they get there, they're fine, but they take a hot. Oh, sorry, pun not intended, but they take a hot minute to get there.
Oh yeah, even with the bed at 110, the chamber heater at 100, it takes a bit for it to get up there.
Yeah. I should hopefully take a lot of weight off of this thing. That's my
I mean, the
hope.
glass is warm, so it's getting up there.
I don't know if I can get
Shatters
this
the
thing.
glass. No, it left behind residue. So everybody knows, printing PLA, don't do it in a
Maybe it will.
bottle of
I don't think it'll focus, but ooh, wrong way.
drop towels opened up. Like, this is a decently designed printer. They just cut a lot of.
What happened?
Would break.
I just realized the max. Quit mid print. That thing never does that.
No.
Huh.
Weight reduction. Exactly. I need all that extra weight from that sticker.
Oh, that sucks. That print was doing pretty good too. Very weird.
This thing. So bad.
Guess that means I can replace the door and not worry about fudging up a print.
Much better.
What'd you do?
Yellow image. I removed the sticker and had a bunch of residue left over. Just got off all the residue with some
Tim's gonna make top
you mean
panels.
What do you want?
The for the K1 Max, he's gonna replace the glass lid with one of your guys' panels, right? Oh, because I'm honestly surprised I have not broken the glass one yet.
I'm not a fan with how these slam shut.
Well, it's the lid though, because these have a glass lid too. Oh, you know what? I don't think you can hear me, can you? Can you hear me, Tor?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Magnet shrunk. Adhesive not.
Don't you come apart in pieces.
So I open up the door. This is a magnet. That shouldn't be there. Oh wow, it's just a dot of glue in the center of that. No wonder. Okay. What? Uh, where's? Do I have a little bit of super glue in this?
3D print, you should always have super glue on hand.
Where's a Q-tip? Oh, I probably shouldn't glue this in so much. I'm gonna be reprinting.
That's staticky.
Oh no, I am It's less impressive.
You sang it was not worth the wait.
$180. Wait, today's the 6th. When did I get the? I don't want to share that screen with my email. Okay, so today the enclosure was delivered. Why is it showing it was delivered tomorrow?
It was delivered tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was the 17th. I ordered on the 4, I think it was like 4/17. It was delivered 5/17, I believe.
You
I
really
got
had it
tracking.
that long?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or no.
Yeah, I don't think you've had it that long.
I can't
That
find
doesn't
the
seem right.
shipping on it. The only shipping it's giving me is the enclosure. Like they overrode the shipping for the printer. What's up? Oh,
Might have to ream the holes out a little bit on my K1 Max door. Maybe I can fix it. Hmm.
I don't know. I think I've had it for like 2 months. Shipping weeks ago. Kitten. Oh, you don't want pets? Okay. Cat doesn't want any love. Oh well.
A cat that doesn't want love.
He won't let me pick him up, but I can occasionally pet his head. I'll take any of the other two cats will take.
You may give me the occasional boop.
Yeah, I can't pet him. I can scratch his head. Very key difference there. Because when the pets actually start happening, he runs off.
Is that the same blue as the...
This is our Raveberry.
Okay. Looks the same as like the tool head.
It's close, but not exact.
Spacers.
Yeah, it's a bit lighter. You have the SV08 working with the Easy ABL? Not yet, but after this print, I don't know if you can tell, but that is not a good first layer at all. I'm probably going to be making a mount tomorrow. I've already confirmed that the wire will pop out the stock fan shroud without any issues. So I'm probably just going to replace the unique clear panels. I don't need for the sides and back. I don't care if it's clear or black. Yeah, the probe is not great. The probe plus the pressure sensor is not great. So I'm just going to use the pressure sensor for the auto Z offset because there's not a lot of extra pins on this board. I'm just going to use the pin for that and replace it. So you just have to set your offset and you won't have to keep recalibrating it every few prints like you would with this one. I'm sorry, you actually did come to hang out. Ugh. I have the Easy ABL NG8 right next to it already where it was sitting. So I'll just whip up a quick mount probably tomorrow for this. Oh no. I've made a mistake.
Oh.
These nuts lock together. There we go. Yeah, the nuts have teeth and they kind of bit into each other. Yeah, it looks like I won't be putting this. This is the SV08. Yeah, I just saw on your printables page you went with Clicky.
I liked the clicky. It wasn't too bad.
Nadir, did you remove? Yeah, you said you removed the Auto Z, so I'm assuming you used the uh, the Z probes pin. Did you figure out that the X and Y share the same pin as the sensorless homing? because I was trying to use one of the end stop pins as the LED light pin. Did not work.
Shit. Should have ordered some more Tim goo with my filament.
Eddy current sensors are on mainline clipper, but I don't know if specifically no. The open X and Y end stop connections on the SV08 mainboard, those pins are used for sensorless homing, so you cannot reuse them even though they're open on the board. Is what I'm saying.
Really?
Yep. Ew.
Bad.
I mean, it's a little stringy, but I bumped it up to 135, and I did not tune it.
That's not bad.
Little stringy,
Yeah,
but you can see the brim is really pushed up and a little bumpy. It's got some waves on its brim. Not a bad print, especially since I bumped up the speed. The retraction needs a little bit of work. Oh, yeah. So when you remove the brim, the bottom layer shouldn't come off.
no.
So
That's
yeah,
some layer
the
adhesion issues.
no, not layer adhesion. The first layer was way too close.
Yeah, but it still shouldn't pull the whole bottom layer off the print.
Oh, it's because I adjusted the Z offset after.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that first layer is a little rough, so I'll be working on a probe mount tomorrow, probably tomorrow, because I have this thing behind me. Yeah, I don't like. I'll probably work on a whole enclosure for it. Somebody made an enclosure already, but it looked like you needed to drill into the side of the frame, and I wasn't a fan of that. Because if it's a kit we're going to sell. I was printing your top hat, Nadir, but it's not going to fit where I have the printer. I have like 2 inches above the printer where it's sitting. So I had to. Like I have the side mounted spool holder and the what's it called? Filament sensor relocation mod. Because I couldn't even have the filament up top with the stock um, spool holder. So I started to print it, and I got like 2 pieces done, and I was like, I don't have room for this. But yeah, I like the idea of this. I don't like it. For $180, I'd rather just get some ACM for the sides and top and then acrylic doors. And I can figure out, like, I think it's like 3mm pins that I can use for the hinges and just some printed parts. But yeah, I was printing your enclosed top hat to keep the Z height, but I hardly print anything 300mm plus. So I'm just going to sacrifice the 15mm that I lose with this enclosure. It is what it is. But yeah, even with their stock setup, I don't see why they didn't account for the wiring in their own design. CPU feet riser. Yeah, I already did my own panels in Fusion for this. I just needed to figure out the door situation, how they did it. I'll kind of copy that with some printed parts, and I'll look for some like 3mm dowel pins, because this is not great. Yet another cable chain. Yeah. Like, for if you're just starting out and you don't print a lot, this will be a good setup for you. It's a nice printer. God, these aren't even even.
Just stop looking at it.
Like, here, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know. These are not even.
No. There's a nice big gap between the two doors in the center.
Yeah, you can't really tell from that, but
It almost looks like the one is kind of pointed down.
yeah, you can really see it on this camera.
Yeah, that one looks like it's pointed down. Oh my god, that's so bad.
They're like a good millimeter or so off.
Jesus.
And then up here, those aren't even either. The magnet came out of this part, and I had to glue it in mid-print.
Well, those were the 3D printed parts too, weren't they? The ones that were pretty
Yeah.
shit looking.
They're crummy 3D printed parts. I would not be pleased with them. You can even tell they're like two. The filament isn't even consistent. Yeah, these two match on the bottom, these two match on the mid, but the top are like black and like a really dark gray. Honestly, for 180, I wouldn't buy it again.
It's our theme.
How much did I pay for this? So I paid $6.99 or $6.69. Oh, calculate.
Oh, here's the sock I was
Minus 99 for the screen. Minus, what was it, 450 for the printer on release. So I only paid like 120 to 150 bucks or so for the enclosure kit, and you have to pay $180 now. Even for that, I could probably get all the acrylic cut and shipped for less than that. And if we did a thing like we did for doors where we're buying kits in bulk, we might be able to do cheaper than that.
Right.
I'll probably talk to Tim next week. See if he wants to go forward with an enclosure kit for this. Because I'm not super pleased. And I'm sure I can probably design something better. Honestly, I might not even do event like they have. Like having an optional upgrade, or just recommend people use Nadir. His top hat has the filter like on the back of the Trident and the V2, that Voron filter. He has one of those for the top hat. So if they really want to filter, I'd recommend that over their filter foam, their dust cover.
Right. Their cat hair strainer.
It's going to keep the cat hair out, but I'm not even plugging in the fan right now anyways, so there's that.
Yeah, I unplugged the turbo fans inside the K1s. Although they do work great for PLA, but outside of that, they just fuck prints up and cause
But
thermal runaway.
you have the Big Tree Tech 5-inch and 7-inch displays integrated. That's nice. Yeah. This thing needs some work. Probably going to be doing the ZABL really soon because that offset was horrible. What do I have it at? Save that. Save config. Because this is just going to be the MKS 5-inch as well in the top hat. Ooh. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's... Where's... Let me turn off my face light. Is that going to turn it off? That's the stock light. It's the clipper. Yeah. This thing really does need some work. Like all of it needed more time in the oven. You try measuring. Um, I mean, there isn't really much room. Let's see if I can do this. All right. So I'm loosening all the screws. And then I'm going to retighten them as they're in place. So if they're going to be aligned, they're going to be all aligned to the bottom now.
Lord,
God, all that's loose.
we have a problem.
Yeah, they're not. Something's off on the design. Hey, Dimemot. Like, I tried to loosen everything. I'll try to, like, tomorrow I'll play with it some more, loosen up this. But there's no. All the hinges, the screw holes have grommets in them. So there's not going to be any play in those. Like, it's going to be a large format ABS machine for doing like helmets and stuff. But it needs some upgrades, which is not great. For the 400 whatever I paid for the printer itself, like, I accept that it's going to need work. I've paid much more for much less of a printer. Like, it needs some TLC. Gotta go. Yeah, I'm about to end the stream here. Doing a Midwest goodbye. 12:20 already here. Have a good one.
A Midwest
Thanks for
goodbye
stopping.
via
Yeah.
Cali.
Have a good one, Nadir. Thanks for stopping by.
See you, Nadir.
I'm gonna work on some upgrades for this thing because it needs a better probe, uh, better front door. I'll leave. I can. I'm fine with the sides, but I'll probably just start redesigning the door and get. Is enough to get your printout this far open. Forgot who said it in chat. They wanted wider opening doors. With the shroud I made, I have better input shaper results. I'll have to check it out. I do need to keep it stock for now. Oh, Emerson, that looks good. I actually have the fan coming in tomorrow for mine. He was just showing off the stealth burner with the Nighthawk.
Yeah, that was the fan you recommend, or the cable cover you recommended.
Nice.
Because there was actually one that I had already printed, but it brought the fan kind of further down, whereas on yours it brought it up. So not only does it hit the board, but it also hits the stepper motor. Not that I've ever had an issue with losing steps, but just having that extra air on there to help keep it cool.
I mean, I got this printed today in glass fiber ASA, and it came out great.
That's awesome. And is that out of your Trident?
Yeah. I'll get some actual pictures and send it over to you once I have some time. But
Is
like,
that with the tool head?
yeah, this is with
Okay.
the current setup. This was printed earlier today. Like I'm the doors opening as wide as they do. Them opens like it's nice to have them open wider so they're out of the way, but you can reach in there, pull out your print. You're not going to be working on it with everything on there. I'd probably take off the doors while installing or reinstalling like a new tool head or installing the easy ABL. I'd put the doors off. 2 extra magnets uploading it today. Yeah, it needs a lot of love and attention. After I install the easy ABL and get that working, if there's nothing else that Tim and I can think of to throw on this thing to upgrade it besides the enclosure, I might just do like a full entire new tool head, a new board, do like another Nighthawk with the 36 millimeter version instead of the stealth burner version, unless there's a mod for a stealth burner. But even then, I might just go something else. Like I love the offset and everything to work, but I've already seen in the groups as well as on my own, when you do the nozzle scrub, it digs into the not the printed part, but the I'm tired. It digs into the injection molded part. So I have like nozzle scrub marks on the injection molding in front of the nozzle scrubber. So that's great. I don't even know. No, I'll just send it to Emerson and download it.
Finally got my Kanomi on there too.
Kanomi. God, I hate you now. Nomi.
Is it Nomi?
Downloads. Yeah, check that picture I just sent.
What what the hell is going on there?
Nozzle scrubber next to uh the pressure sensor.
So what'd they make the nozzle scrubber out of? PLA?
No, it's silicone. But the nozzle hits it so hard. Like you see on the left, that's nozzle hitting the injection molding on the front end. All that's the nozzle smacking into the injection molding.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah, that's bad.
A little dusty, but yeah, that's not great. That's because their probe is crap. Their auto Z offset settings are crap as well. Like I said, I'm just gonna forego the auto Z offset. Like I have it on the Merc, and I never use it. I don't have one on. I never even installed it on the.
Your audio cut out, Tor.
Hello, hello, hello.
There you go.
But yeah, I have the tap on my Trident. I didn't even bother installing the Sex Bolt. I have the Sex Bolt on my Mercury 1. Worked good, but it's not needed. But yeah, I think my battery pack is dying for my mic. Even it is trying to tell me it's time to go to bed. All All right, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. It was fun. If you bought this with the printer as the full kit, it's going to work all right. I wouldn't recommend turning on the back exhaust fan because it's not really needed. I'd honestly recommend Nadir's top hat and filter because you can actually put some carbon in that to actually have a filter. Hey, Jonathan. We're actually just ending the stream. It's all right if you paid less than the $180 they want for it, but for the $180 they want for it right now, I would not recommend it. The prints are kind of crap.
They're bad.
They're not great. There's a bunch of warping. I need to pull up here. Silval GitHub. How nozzle? My nozzle has been fine, but I have seen that people have had it drop out. Literally drop out at the hot end. Yeah, they haven't updated the CAD or the step file for the enclosure, so I don't have the printed parts. Hey, Maker Viking. Yeah, they haven't updated it in 2 months. So I've had the printer for about 2 months now. So I'll have to bug them and ask them for the files for that so I can reprint all the handles and everything because they're in PLA in an ABS enclosure. My eye is twitching. That's why I'm rubbing it. Yes. PLA.
That warping is just going to get worse until it's
like
literally starts to melt.
The cable chain in back is PLA. They even call it out in their installation guide. Focus. Fix the PLA print part of the harness bracket on the AB axis. PLA print part in your enclosure so you can print ABS.
I wouldn't even use a PLA part in a non-enclosed printer. It's just too much. Just no.
Like for our probe mounts, if you're not putting them in enclosure, we print them like thick. So there's not much issue there. If you're printing really hot, they're going to melt. But if you're printing really hot, you should pick the ABS option. And I think we might have already switched to all ABS. Just
I was going to say I don't remember recently seeing an option for anything other than ABS.
For a few years we had it in both, but
yeah,
like it wasn't getting all that hot. You were most of the time these printers didn't have enclosures or anything. It was like open air Ender 3s. And if you're going to print ABS, you're not going to do it in open air ABS or an open air Ender 3. Like I like the side panels. They're nice folded over aluminum. So they're a little bit thicker on the edges. Like that's not too bad. The doors, the hinges, the cable chain, all need some love. Like I literally had my second open of the door, the magnet fall out. Because there's just like one little dab of glue in the center. It's like, okay. But I'm going to look around, see if I can find... I'll probably just print these parts for the top and bottom and add magnets in it, just like the Voron doors. I would just need to figure out the pins for the hinges. I could just reprint those as well. And make acrylic doors for this that will actually sit a bit flusher. Like this has more gap than the bamboo doors on the inside edge, on the hinge edge. like a millimeter and a half, millimeter or 1.2, 1.2, and then 1.5 in the center. Like that is a gap. But not something I would recommend for most people. If this is going to be your first ABS machine and you can get everything cheap, that's fine. But my OCD is killing me with it. Like the printed parts are PLA and they're crap. I had to remove multiple segments of the cable chain to get it to work because I've already seen people who installed this have issues. You lose build height with it. And in their original renders for this, they had a top hat for it, like Nadir had. But I'm guessing they deemed it too expensive to make an injection mold for the top, so they just removed that because that would have given you enough space up top so you can get the full Z height. So right now I can only go about three. I think it was 319 before the printed part popped out, and it's supposed to be 345. So I'm missing 20 to 30 millimeters of Z height now. Still over 300 and should be good for most prints, but still. Why this is your OEM enclosure designed for your OEM build size. Don't cut your build size just because people want to print hotter.
Yeah, I don't lose build volume when I put the lid on my K1s.
Right?
In fact, on the standard K1s, for anyone who doesn't have one or hasn't seen one, I mean, they actually put the lid, they dome the lid so you
Yeah, one of those would have
specifically
been
don't
perfect.
lose it. Yeah.
They have mounting holes up top for the top hat that they designed. Like I remember, I wish I could pull it up, but in their documentation for it, they had a top hat, like the milk crate bottom and the milk crate top. I was like, okay, cool, that's cool. They have a lift for it, so you can print. Nope, that's nowhere to be found now. But all in all, yeah, it's not something I'd recommend for most people, especially at $180. It like if they had better doors, better top, um, and like an actual filter setup instead of a little piece of foam that you can see through, it would be good. This, not so much. Like it's going to be a big ABS monster, but I'm not recommending it. It just has too many small things that add up.
Well, and even
Like if this was a
the
third party for like $50 cheaper, I wouldn't be as annoyed. But this is their own design for the printer they designed. Like they should have everything set up correctly for the OEM.
well, and that printer needed we went through the configuration before you even got it, and there was things that needed to be fixed just in the config file for it to run properly because they couldn't get that right.
Yeah. Well, still,
Which
I had to adjust it so when it does probing at ABS temps, it doesn't drop the bed to 60 degrees.
which does you no good
And
because
yeah,
that's
if
going to
you're doing
change when you
PLA,
heat that.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, when you crank that bed up to 100 or plus, when you go to print ABS, that height map is going to do you no good. It's going to change because that bed's going to warp a little bit or taco or do whatever.
Yeah, especially since it's such a thin bed. It's just a PCB AC bed, so that thing's gonna warp.
Yeah. Here's one
I
glass
mean,
door.
I'm I'm glad Tim didn't buy, or I'm glad Tim canceled his because
Oh, he would have been so
it's
pissed.
not. Yeah, it's not worth it. Like if you have it, you can work on it, and you probably got it at the starting sale price where it was like $100 off or 150 off or whatever it was. But at its current price, what is it right now? Stovall 3D. So I paid $169 for mine. If you buy it right now, it's $800 for the printer, enclosure, and touchscreen.
Well, that's like the K2. Like unless you got it at the 50% or the 40%, it's not worth it. I think they want too much for it, and especially the games they played with that
Yeah,
launch.
that was
That was
kind of.
some shady bullshit right there.
I wish I still had the pictures of their own top enclosure, because that would have made it a bit better with a lot less issues. Oh well. Not much buyer's remorse, but I would not pay what they want for it now, which is for just the printer and the enclosure. So my setup right now is $739. I paid $669 minus the $99 I got refunded for the screen. So pretty much 550, 560 bucks for it. For 550 bucks, like this is not a bad setup. For almost $800, no.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys knock it off. Puff. They're getting cranky. I think it's time to go for like the fourth time. We're really good at the Midwest goodbyes here.
You said that like half hour, 45 minutes ago.
I went on my own little rant. I don't have
You
the
did.
Tim rants thing. But yeah. I'll get some ABS prints going tonight, see how it turns out, see if anything warps. Gonna slather that thing down with some bed cement as well, so try to help it. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a good night, good morning, good weekend. Stay cool. It's still 87 degrees at almost 1 o'clock in the morning. That's
Nope.
outside.
I'd melt.
87 degrees outside right now.
It's not much better in there, is it?
80. No, it's 84 in here.
Yeah,
Actually,
no.
I'm fine with that. But like 87 in the middle of the night, my AC bill is going to be insane. Can't wait for that. Yeah, I'm going to start some printing, go to bed, get out of this hot office. The rest of the house is a lot cooler. Just I've been printing with a heated enclosure and now the 350 millimeter bed at 100C. But all right, everybody, you guys have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Don't buy this enclosure. I'll probably be coming out with one on my own in the next month or so. After I finish up the work on the monster of a CR10S5 I'm doing.
That's going to be a cool
project. Yeah, it needs a lot of love and attention. All right, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by.
See ya.